Hey guys, welcome back. It's Maverick here, and today we're watching another episode of Code Geass. So, just a quick note on the last episode. It was definitely interesting, right? Especially with the entire reveal of C2 and a lot of other stuff. Well, I guess you can't really say it's reveal because we're just dropped hints of what she might be, and etc. etc. And apparently, a lot of people were confused with some of my comments in regards to her more supernatural-oriented abilities or whatnot. So. No, it's not like a slight or anything. It's just that I feel like with Lelouch being a little bit more analytical and logical in his approach towards things, like very scientific and meticulous in the way that he approaches stuff and whatnot, I was actually expecting there to be some sort of scientific explanation for C2's abilities. Like, you can, in the scenes where Lelouch is using Geass, he's literally like rewiring the neurons in people's brains, right? So I actually thought it was something more of a sci-fi kind of weapon, in line with mecha's other mecha stuff and whatnot. So apparently it is kind of more magical, mystic, if you will. So I guess we're Star Wars now, right? Or I guess not really Star Wars. What's a better comparison? Macross, right? Macross, which is mostly still oriented towards the sci-fi stuff, but with some, supernatural elements mixed within. Now, it's definitely not a slight against the series. I was just surprised that they actually went that route instead. But anyways, not really too much else to add on last episode. As I mentioned before, the thing that I'm looking forward to the most is what is going to be the reaction in regards to the Britannian forces, especially Cornelia and whatnot. Like, how are they going to react now that Lelouch and the Black Knights have essentially declared themselves to be siding with the resistance forces, right? So is there going to be a stricter crackdown or whatnot? I don't know. Let's get into the episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. See, look at this. Okay, I guess maybe, I don't know, maybe I was too quick to jump to conclusions, but I literally thought that was like an example of rewiring the neurons in your brains or whatnot. That's what I took that to be. Phoenix. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. This is definitely like traveling through the neurons in your brains and whatnot. But as it stands, especially since we got all that, C2 through the ages, that kind of thing, it's definitely more of a supernatural nature. I do wonder though, now that I know it is more supernatural in nature. So does that phoenix slash bird or whatever it is that flies out from Lelouch's eyes while he's using Geass, does that have any specific significance? Well, I guess in that opening scene right there, we just saw, I'm assuming Lelouch spreading his fire wings or whatnot, right? All right. Oh, but yeah, that's the same as this as well. The messenger from Kyoto. 5-year plan for colonization. Yeah, now we get to the geopolitics as well. NAC? Blue buds and plutocrats. Really? It certainly doesn't seem so. What they're saying here is that they're allowing the 11s, right, the Japanese, to self-govern themselves. Oh, Dremia is on the dead list? But it certainly didn't seem like they were utilizing a system of self-governance. Oh. And here I was thinking she was like somehow related to Lelouch. Oh, actually, she might be related to Suzaku, right? Huh, yeah, judging from the opening and whatnot. Oh. So is this more of a daily life episode? I don't hate this, you know. In fact, I quite enjoy it. Oh. The peace before the storm? What are you doing, Glasses Girl? The invitation? Oh. Is he actually gonna... Is she gonna ask him now? Is she? Is she? I would certainly think... Hmm? Oh? What? So she's having a case of split personalities again? I'm pretty sure that something's gonna happen during the concert, right? Hmm?
京都からグレン錦をうまく使ったって褒められたよ。感動だったな。
でもあの白兜に
気にすんなって。引き分けだろ、引き分け。
なんなんだシャーリーのやつ。いきなり。
父さん単身赴任してて、でも私のご機嫌取りに行ってよくこういうの送ってくるの。それでなんだけど。
これ。なんだこれは。ラブレター。は？お前。
こいつに冗談は通じねえ。
Yeah, that's actually that was actually quite a nice comeback.
ぜひ直接俺たちに会いたい。
Oh, okay.
それほどって。
I do want to know, like, what exactly is this Kyoto thing?
俺たちの苦しい財政も。財政？私の組んだ予算通りなら問題なかったはずだが。それが。
俺のせいじゃねえぞ。もう俺たちは大組織なんだ。人間が増えりゃ予定外の。
大物ぶって新入りにおごりまくるのが予定外？
お前な。
私知ってんだからね。どんなとこ行ってんのか。
そうなの？
とりあえず会計は扇が仕切ってくれ。
待てよ。昔からな、金は俺が預かってきたんだ。それを
信用されたければ相応の成果を示せ。
ってお前が言うか？仲間とか言って顔も見せねえやつが。どうなんだよゼロ。
待てよ、それは。
ゼロの正体がどうかなんて問題じゃないでしょ。ゼロはあのコーネリアを出し抜く実力を持った私たち黒の騎士団のリーダーよ。他に何が必要だっていうの。
Is this glasses girl? Yeah. What the hell are you doing?
ニーナさん、
Is she actually?
気分が悪いようなら。なんでもない。
Oh!
どうすんだよ。
Oh my god. Literally using the corner. Naughty, naughty, naughty.
有田の時はみんなの。
でも脅迫に近かったし。
俺たち幹部にすら秘密だなんて。可能性がある12人には絞り込んだ。あとはどの札が当たるかだが、やはりアドリブが必要になるか。誰だ？
私です。さっきは出過ぎたことを言って申し訳ありませんでした。
カレン、君も私の素顔が知りたいか？
あの人は知って。いえ、失礼します。
I wonder how shocked she will be once she. Although I really can't see Lelouch revealing his identity anytime soon, especially considering that Callan has he's already used Geass on Callan before.
お兄様が少し遠くなったような、そんな気がして。だから体が勝手に構ってもらいたかったのかもしれません。
違うよ。俺は変わらない。何があろうと。
Yeah, you gotta take care of your Lelouch identity as well, dude.
わがままを言ってもいいですか？もう少しだけ手を握っていてください。このまま一人で眠るとまたあの夢を見てしまいそうな気がして。
本気か？私に頼み事というのは。
ああ、お前がくれたヒントを元にしたい。
I'll take his identity.
人の意図がどうであれ、俺は連中の力を手に入れたいんだ。
それがお前の願い。生きる目的に必要なら手を貸してもいいが。
必要だ。C2、お前が。
You're necessary.
わかった。それから忘れ物だぞ。
忘れたんじゃない。今日はいつ帰れるかわからないから断りの電話を入れるつもりだったんだ。
契約は守れ。
俺だ。ああ、ちょうどよかった。実は。
ね、ルル。今日の約束なんだけど遅れるかもしれない。でもきっと
Narita?
他の幹部もお連れするよう主から言いつかっているのですが、万一の事態に備えて周囲を警戒している。すぐに呼ぼう。だがその前に。
Oh.
破損がひどいものは第2テントへ。遺留品があれば身元確認を急げ。顔の判決がつくものは第1テントへ。発見場所、時間を書類に明記しておけ。まもなく第2班燃料チームが到着する。運搬作業用には至急仮設テントへ。
本当にいたんだろうか、彼女はあそこに。それに忘れろ、データにも残っちゃいないんだ。
もう満足したかい、死体発掘は。
できればもう少し救出作業に従事させてください。
なら気が済むまでどうぞ。一応コーネリア殿下の命令でもあるしね。
ロイドさん、ゼロは黒の騎士団は何をしようとしてるんでしょう。こんな犠牲の上に何ができると思ってるんでしょう。
正義の味方だろ、本人の言葉によれば。
これが正義ですか。
おいおい、まさか正義とは何かなんて恥ずかしい議論をふっかける気じゃあるまいね。僕らは一応軍人だよ。
Hmm?
終わったわよ。エナジーフィラーの交換。
はい。
What?
セシル君、
調べました。純血派の機体も。
やっぱりあれ。
はい、輻射波動です。
まさか敵に協力するなんてね。あのラクシャータが。
敵パイロットもエース級です。スザク君の精神安定が見込めない今。
And who are you?
再びこの相手と戦ったら。
勝てないっていうつもりかい、僕のランスロットが。
So I guess Kyoto is receiving some help from Britannian sympathizers?
少しは落ち着けば。みっともな。
なんだ。
分かってる。
不自由をおかけしました。主が皆様をお待ちです。ここ富士鉱山。
The Fuji Mines.
おい、そんなところに来られるわけ。
でも間違いないわよ。この山、この形。
ってことはこの下に桜大とか戦争の元になったお宝だろう。
So they're literally inside the Fuji Mountain.
こんなところにまで力が及ぶなんて、やはり京都はすごい。
見に行くかろう。かつて山紫水明、水清く緑豊かな霊峰として名を馳せた富士の山も、今は帝国に屈し、なすがままに陵辱され続ける我ら日本の姿そのもの。嘆かわしきことよ。顔を見せぬ非礼を浴びよ。がゼロ、それはお主も同じこと。わしは見極めねばならぬ。お主が何者なのかを、その素顔見せてもらうぞ。
Okay, so what's gonna happen here?
お待ちください。ゼロは我々に力と勝利を与えてくれました。それを。
黙るのだ。奥義というものは、
はい、私です。
お主がゼロの仮面を外せ。
奥義さん。
すまないゼロ。でも俺も信じたいんだ、お前を。だから信じさせてくれ。そんな。
違うわ。この人はゼロじゃない。私は見た。ゼロがこの人と一緒にいたのを。
そこな女、まことか。
ああ、
しかもお主、日本人ではないな。
イエスだ。京都の代表、桐原泰造。
御前の筋を知る者は生かしておけぬ。それが日本人にあらざればなおさら。
待ってくれ、俺は関係ねえからよ。
Nice.
ぬるいな。それにやり方も考え方も古い。
Check and mate, dude.
ゼロ。
いつの間に。やめろ。遠隔射撃されるぞ。いいな。 原泰山。桜大と採掘業務を一手に担う桐原産業の創設者にしてクルルギ政権の影の立役者。
Mm-hmm.
敗戦後は身を翻し植民地支配の積極的協力者となる通称売国土の桐原。しかしその実態は全国のレジスタンスを束ねる京都六家の重鎮。
Okay.
安いな。
貴様御前のお気持ちをやめ。
あなたがお察しの通りだ。私は日本人ではない。
マジかよ。そりゃ顔見せられねえはずだ。
日本人ならざるお主がなぜ戦う。何を望んでおる。
ブリタニアの崩壊を。
そのようなことできるというのか。お主に
できる。なぜならば私にはそれをなさねばならぬ理由があるからだ。あなたが相手でよかった。
お主。
お久しぶりです、桐原公。
Oh, they.
8年前にあの家で瞳悟空として預かった。
Oh, damn.
当時は何かと世話になりまして。
相手がわしでなければ人質にするつもりだったのかな。
まさか私にはただお願い。
Holy shit.
8年前の種が花を咲かすか。クソ見えね。扇よ。
はい。
この者は偽りなきブリタニアの敵。素顔を晒せるわけも特進が言った。わしが保証しよう。ゼロについてゆけ。情報の隠蔽や拠点探しなどはわしらも協力する。
ありがとうございます。感謝します、桐原公。
行くか、修羅の道を。
それが我が運命ならば。
第2、第5、第7、第8、第9章管理本部で
So was Ogi actually working as like a sort of a
何しろこんな状況でして。
では確認をお願いします。
huh? Wait, what the hell?
さすがにもういないか。とにかくこれからだな。黒の騎士団。これから本当に俺の思い描いた。
Wait, what? So was Lelouch faking his death?
遅れてすまない。てっきりもう言ったものかと。いや、そんなことより、とにかくどこか雨宿りできるところに。
Who was that?
ルル、ゼロって弱い者の味方なんだよね。
ああ、そう言ってたな。
なら
Oh, her father.
お父さん殺したんだろ。お父さん優しくて、私ぶたれたこともなくて、何にも悪いことなのに埋められて。
Yeah, that landslide.
どうしてなんでお父さん私のこんな嫌よ。嫌嫌。お願い、ルル。
Wait, what? That ending there. I mean, I guess I can kind of understand that, but holy shit, Lelouch, what are you gonna do now? Alright, let me just take a quick look at the scene again. I'll see you guys after this. Ooh boy, guys, shit has hit the fan. And by the way, I do apologize for screwing up a little bit during the scene where they were showing Shirley's father's body to her, right? In retrospect, I should have, known that it was pretty much implied from the very beginning, the entire setup and whatnot, that she had lost a family member there. But during that scene where they were talking about, her family name and trying to identify a body and whatnot, I was more focused on what was actually in Valetta's hands, which is the picture of Lelouch. So I kind of got distracted throughout that entire thing. And by the way, that is probably going to be another that's going to be a plot point in the future as well, now that Valletta has seen the picture of the guy who, after she met, she blanked out on memories, so probably that's going to also progress the story along as well. And, after that, the entire scene with Shirley, crying into Lelouch's arms and then them kissing, I was like, again, I probably shouldn't have laughed at that scene. It was supposed to be an emotional moment and whatnot, but I just found the irony of the situation so high that I couldn't help but chuckle at the scene, right? So bear with me, guys, because this is kind of my personality here. If you're expecting me to also be like, oh my god, so sad at that scene, you've come to the wrong place, alright? And I mean, I get it, right? Surely, she's in this time of vulnerability, and Lelouch is this guy who she has loved and she has relied on for so long. During this time of, emotional vulnerability, she needs someone to support her and whatnot. So it makes sense, right? It's entirely human to do for things to expand this way. For Lelouch as well, I'm sure that being the logical guy that he is, he's probably going to first and foremost focus on calming Shirley down, right? That's probably what's going through his mind at that moment. That's the number one priority. Once things settle down, then he's going to reflect on this entire situation here. Now, of course, this is a lot more personal, right? This is actually someone who has died, who is close to someone who Lelouch himself is close with, right? I'm sure that, no matter whether he actually has any romantic feelings for Shirley or not, most probably not. At the very least, he considers her a very dear friend, right? And this definitely hits a lot more personal to home as well. So the scene where the landslide actually happened, actually flowing into town and whatnot, it seems that did play into the situation there. I kind of was feeling there was probably going to be some collateral damage there, otherwise they wouldn't have specifically animated the scenes with it flowing into the town and all that. Now, then again, they could be combatants as well, maybe non-combatant, but still military personnel in a way, like sort of like support members or whatnot. But I do kind of feel that it's, all things considered, I think maybe it's going to be more of a, non-combatant civilian casualty, collateral damage, that kind of thing, right? Now, I did say before, this is again a few episodes ago, that I feel like for Lelouch, it really doesn't matter to him that much, right? We know that his main goal is focused on destroying Britannia, everything else is secondary to that goal, right? And so, especially with him being having more of an analytical, calculating type of character, I do feel that, at the end of the day, these are acceptable sacrifices that he is willing to make, right? And definitely, I don't think that this is something, to me, it's an easy decision here, right? Not to sound like an ass or anything, but war is war, right? Now, however, with that being said, though, as some of you guys have pointed out when I was talking about the, why doesn't he just issue a generic obey me forever command to all his enemies and whatnot and just be done with the entire situation, right? And you guys have said that, Lelouch has his own set of morals and values as well, so who knows, maybe, certainly we can see that Lelouch doesn't act all logically all the time, right? He is driven by personal revenge and whatnot, so he can't be completely separated from his personal feelings and all that. So I don't know, hard to say, especially in this case where it's someone who Lelouch probably actually knew about, right? Probably has even met before. It definitely hits a lot closer to home, so I'm quite interested in seeing what his response is going to be in the next episode, how he's going to view this entire situation. I still feel that for a character like Lelouch, who does think these things through, follows a logical progression and whatnot, at the end of the day, he's gonna have to come to a conclusion that this is part of war. If he's going to wage war, this is what's going to happen, right? So, I do feel that he's not going to be too distraught over this entire thing. No, but whether this complicates things further because of Shuri's actual burst of emotions, or of course Violetta and whatnot, I feel like that's probably going to affect him a lot more than any of what he has actually done has. But again, who knows, right? And this also kind of ties into like Suzaku's entire thing and whatnot, and hey, basically questioning the hypocrisy of Zero here, right? Of Lelouch here, which it does make a lot of sense, right? Because if you do consider yourself, and if you are just like a resistance force or anything, right, just come out and say it, right? You're a resistance force, and you're trying to do battle against the Britannians. That is one thing, right? But Lelouch specifically proclaimed that him and the Black Knights were allies of the weak, right? They were allies of justice. And indeed, even in that scene a few episodes ago where they did go up against the Liberation Army, right, and rescue the hostages and whatnot, he did specifically say that hey, we fight for those who are unarmed, who are incapable of defending themselves and whatnot. Well, no matter which way you spin it, no matter how imbalanced the Britannian forces were, the situation was with the Japanese Liberation Front, at the end of the day, non-combatants, civilians, they are still, the most vulnerable out of all of them, right? So you can't really justify, oh yeah, because I'm fighting to protect the Japanese Liberation Front from the Britannians, so, I have some collateral damage from the civilians and whatnot. That's not gonna fly if that's the, if that's the cause, that's the rallying cry that he is trying to go under, right? So that definitely has an impact as well. So certainly I can totally understand Suzaku calling out Zero's hypocrisy in this point. Now, with that being said, though, I do kind of question, like, because Suzaku was there from the very first episode, right? He was there for the Shinjuku slaughter. Was it Shinjuku or Shibuya? I kind of forgot, but one of the Tokyo districts, right, for the slaughter by Britannian forces against one. And indeed, he even joined the fight as the Britannian forces during that time. I do want, like, we can make excuses for him, like maybe he didn't realize what was happening, blah 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 blah, or whatnot. I do kind of wonder though, like in the future, once we get into another situation where maybe this same thing is going to happen again, right? A Britannian versus 11, Britannian versus Japanese kind of situation, perhaps even not against non-combatants as well. What exactly is Suzaku going to respond? How exactly is he going to respond to that situation, right? It certainly doesn't seem to be something that's going to happen under Cornelia and whatnot. I feel like she has a bit more restraint and brain power to not infuriate the local population like that, but still, it's definitely, if how Lelouch reacts to this entire situation of collateral damage kind of interests me. I'm also quite interested in knowing how Suzaku is going to react to actually, directly being on the battlefield and seeing Britannian soldiers go up against non-combatants, and indeed maybe himself even being ordered to go up against non-combatants. How's he going to react there, right? So that's also something quite interesting as well. And oh man, we still have the entire Kyoto party to talk about, right? So, or I guess not Kyoto party, but the entire Kyoto forces or whatnot. So it is revealed, right? They are a bunch of the old and rich, the rich houses of the old Japan, who apparently now has allied themselves with the Britannian government, which is, quite a common occurrence as well. Like I said before, I do come from a country where we were colonized before by Japan, actually. And that's pretty much what happened as well, right? Because, this happens common. The more important families, the influential local personnel would sort of try and negotiate better terms for the local people, right? And then try to unify them under some semblance of self-government, in order to make sure that no more people are going to get killed or harmed in the future, right? Because army versus army, that's one thing. This is mainly for the good of the people, right? You don't want normal civilians, normal working people to get caught up in this entire thing. So, it's a really plausible situation, and apparently they are actually using this willing to bear the brunt of being called a traitor in order to fund the resistance secretly, right? Now, I've no doubt, actually, that there's probably a lot of corruption involved as well with the former Britannian occupants, because, again, looking at it logically, you can't possibly be able to have this kind of, just take away these kinds of funding and manpower and resources to build up all these armaments and whatnot without at least having, using some money to smooth over some operations, right? Otherwise, unless they are the Britannians are completely incompetent at anything, right? It's you can't really hide operations of that kind of scale, right? So I do feel still that there's probably some Britannian sympathizers within the high command or whatnot that's and if not actively helping the resistance forces, at least turning a blind eye to them, right? Which may or may not be touched upon in the future, but this is just kind of a thinking out loud for me as of right now. What else? What else from this episode? Ogi, right? I mean, this is more of a curiosity question and whatnot, but it seems that the I forgot what the old guy's name was called, the representative from Kyoto, right? He seemed to have, I don't know, the way that he talked to Ogi made me kind of consider Ogi to be, kind of like maybe a double agent working for Kyoto. I mean, I don't really want to read too much into the situation, but I do feel it's kind of weird that he specifically singled out Ogi and said, yeah, you can trust this man and whatnot, right? So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe nothing's gonna come out of it. I'm just going to throw this out for now. And then I guess one last thing out of all of this would be Nina, right? Is her name Nina? Yeah, Nina, right? Okay, so I totally get what you guys are saying, that she is quite the intense girl now. I wonder, because this series obviously is is this series actually meant for young teens and whatnot? I'm not sure if people who are young teens were able to catch what Nina was actually doing there, but basically she was masturbating, getting off to pictures of Yuffie, right? I think it was Yuffie. And considering the fact that she's actually doing it in the student council room as well, it does seem that she gets a thrill out of this sort of indecent exposure as well, all things considered. I don't know how big of a deal this is going to be, but since they do put her in as one of the more commonly recurring characters, and then specifically animate the scene and whatnot, probably it's going to play a major role in the future. Don't know how, don't know why. Something to file away for now once again. And I think that pretty much covers everything I wanted to cover in this episode. Obviously, we still get kind of like the love triangle or square kind of going on here as well, with C2, her having some emotions and whatnot. We got Shirley, of course, at the ending scene there, how that's going to change their entire relationship with each other. And then Callan, again, of course, it can be either way, right? Maybe it's just why don't you trust me like you trust her kind of thing, but it's also quite possible that this will, because she definitely has admiration for Zero, right? It's entirely possible that this will going to eventually blossom into something more as well. I can certainly see hints of that happening if they do decide to pursue that path. But yeah, again, just looking forward to the future, right? So anyways, that's pretty much it for now. Anyway, in any case, of course, the main thing is still Lelouch's reaction in the next episode. I feel like this will help us allow me to understand his character a bit more. So that's it for now. Thank you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.